My name is Dr. Margaret Hale, and I would like to welcome you to SEDE 7335, Literature for Adolescents. I'll tell you a little bit about myself in this short welcome video and also give you some information about the syllabus that you'll find important. So here's my page at the University of Houston. You can see from this page that I am a clinical associate professor as well as the associate chair in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. I'm beginning my 6th year here at the University of Houston, and I work in the Reading and Language Arts Education program area. My office is in the Curriculum and Instruction office on the 2nd floor of Farish Hall if you ever need to stop by. You can also see right there, there's my office phone number as well as my email address. If you call my office and I don't answer, if you'll leave a voicemail, it sends me an email, and I can get the email through my voice. I can get the voicemail through my email. So please feel free to contact me either way. A little bit of my background. I started my career as a teacher in 1991 when I graduated from college, and I began my teaching career in the grade of kindergarten. I worked with 5-year-olds, 5 and 6-year-olds. I spent about 7 years in teaching kindergarten and then moved to a middle school and began teaching English language arts and reading in a middle school, in several middle schools. And then from that point, I moved to the position of literacy coach. And I did that job at the campus level and the district level for a number of years. All that before finishing my doctorate and becoming a faculty member here at the University of Houston. So a little bit about my work in the profession. I have been a trainer for Abydos Literacy Learning, formerly known as the New Jersey Writing Project in Texas, since the summer of 1995. I teach writing institutes for them in the summers. I teach reading weeks. I teach workshops on expository writing, on persuasive writing, on narrative writing. I teach grammar weeks. I do that kind of work typically during the summer. I am currently serving as the president of the Texas Council of Teachers of English Language Arts. Last year I was past president, and before that I spent 3 years as their Slate NCTE liaison on the board, doing a lot of work with policy and with watching bills that were happening in the legislature, organizing Advocacy Day at the Capitol, that kind of thing. I'm also a member of the current editorial team for English in Texas, which is the journal of the Texas Council of Teachers of English Language Arts. I'm a member of the National Council of Teachers of English and serve the council on their middle level section steering committee. So in that role, I help to organize sessions at the annual convention that are geared toward middle level teachers. I'm also a member locally of the West Houston Area Council of Teachers of English. Along with being a member of NCTE, I'm a member of one of their assemblies, the Assembly on Literature for Adolescents of NCTE. I'm a member of the Texas Library Association, and I'm also the co-founder and director of a book festival that we have here in Houston called Tweens Read, and I'll tell you more about that later on during this semester. So a little bit about me personally, but this kind of links to me professionally. I love to read. That's probably why I have an advanced degree in literature for children and adolescents. But I read all kinds of things. I read picture books, story books, nonfiction picture books. I really like to read picture book biographies, and I think they're so useful for kids of all ages, for adults as well, actually. I read professional books. I'm currently reading Disrupting Thinking by Kylene Beers and Bob Probst. I'm also reading a professional book called No More Telling as Teaching. I believe that's the name of it. I'm looking forward to reading a new professional book by Pernille Ripp called Passionate Readers. I like reading tween books, books for kids in the middle grades. I like reading adolescent literature, both fiction and nonfiction. I also like reading adult books. Surprises a lot of people that I read any adult books. Just this morning I finished reading a book by Jojo Moyes called The Girl You Left Behind, which was about girl in London whose husband had died, and before he died, he had bought her a painting. Turns out it had been painted during World War I in France and was taken by a Nazi soldier. Interesting. But I feel like I've been reading a lot of books set in World War I and World War II over the past couple of years. So I love reading. That's my favorite pastime, I guess. I also love my dogs. I'm a big dog person. You can tell from that picture. I chose Snoopy and his stack of books. So this is not Snoopy. This is one of my dogs. He's about 1.5 years, and his name is Rudy. That's him in the car. He loves to go for rides. He's sitting on the floor right behind me, and I apologize in advance if he starts barking. I adopted him at the shelter, and they called him a border terrier. But as he's gotten a little older, I think that he has quite a bit of schnauzer in him because his fur is turning from black to a much more silvery color. It's kind of salt and pepper at this point. He's so much fun. He is a very affectionate dog, likes to lie with his head in my lap while I'm reading. Such a great dog. This is my other dog. This is Rocky. He is an adorable little Pomeranian. His fur is a bit shorter than this right now. That's a winter cut in the picture. He's a very furry dog. Leaves little tumbleweeds of fur all around the house. He's the one who really likes to bark, so you might hear him barking at some point in the background. So that's a little bit about me professionally and personally. So I want to show you just a couple of things on the syllabus that are going to be important for you. The syllabus is located in Blackboard under course content, so you should be able to find it very easily there. This is an online course, as you know. Sorry for all that scrolling. Everything that we do is going to be online. At this point, I do not have any synchronous meetings scheduled for online. All of our meetings right now are scheduled to be asynchronous. What that really means is you can work on this class anytime, day or night. It's up to you. Please know that I am not a night owl, so if you send me a message after about 8:30 or 9 p.m., chances are I'm not going to respond till the morning. I am an early bird, though. I do some of my best work between 6 and 8 a.m. So if you email me late at night, expect that I'll email you back early the next morning. So all of the classes are asynchronous. The beginning of the week for this class is Mondays at 8 a.m. So if you have an assignment that's due on a Monday, you can assume that it's due by 8 a.m. that Monday. Okay, so your blog posts and that kind of thing. I do have planned, you can see on the syllabus right here, September 20th, October 18th, and November 15th. Those are Tuesdays. I will plan to be online at on those dates from 5:30 to 6:30. And the way so it's like online office hours. If you want to stop in and ask a question, I can be online most anytime if you have a question for me, either online in our Collaborate room, which is located on Blackboard, or we can talk on the phone. But for those 3 times specifically, I have designated that as time where I will be at my computer with a chat room open. The chat room is what's called Blackboard Collaborate. If you choose to drop in and talk about any of the topics, have questions, whatever. Okay? So Blackboard Collaborate, just so you know, I'm going to pull up a window here. This is the one I want. So Blackboard Collaborate is located right here under course content, and you would just click on Join Room if you choose to pop in on one of those days. If you'll look in course content under week 1, right here, here is a guide for you about getting started with Blackboard Collaborate. So at any point when you have some time, I would suggest you work through that guide just in case we do end up having a synchronous meeting or you do decide to pop in on one of those online office hour times. Here are the learning objectives and outcomes for the course. I'm going to scroll through some stuff pretty quickly. Here are the materials or required readings for the course. These are all pieces of adolescent literature. a mixture of nonfiction and fiction, more fiction than nonfiction. This piece right here, the one you're going to read first, How Reading Changed My Life, that is actually not a piece of adolescent literature, but that is the first reading that I want you to do, and that is to prepare you for writing your reading autobiography. You know already that reading is very important to me, and I want it to be the same to you. So I want you to read this piece from Anna Quinlan first. And then at the bottom, it says you're going to choose one book from each of the following authors: Chris Crutcher, Tom Engelberger, John Green, and Holly Black. There's a separate video that does little book talks for all of these books and these 4 authors. So make sure you watch that this week. Technology requirements. This is a really important piece, you guys. Because this is an online course, I need you to make sure that you have the technological capability to perform all the functions you'll be needing during the course of the semester. So just make sure that you go through this. I will tell you that a stable internet connection is probably best for you when you do this. I've had some people try and complete this course or other online courses using their phone as a tether or as a modem. That's not a very stable internet connection, and you will have some difficulty uploading some things if you do it that way. Here's support information, more technological competencies that you'll need. And then here's how you will be graded for the course. If you continue on in the syllabus, there is a tentative schedule. So sometimes know that the video title may be a little different. For example, I think this is not the most recent version of the syllabus. I think I changed this to Benefits of Using Young Adult Literature. But you need to watch the videos that are in each folder. When it says for next week, read Persepolis and El Defo and post first 2 blogs, those blogs are due to be posted by the next Monday, which would be September 4th at 8 a.m. Okay? So there's our calendar. Here's the academic honesty policy. I would encourage you to click on that link and be very familiar with the academic honesty policy. You will be writing blogs about each of the books you read in this course, and the writing is expected to be your own writing, your own words, not borrowing anybody else's words. Here's some information about online student etiquette. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see every single assignment has its own page and is outlined thoroughly for you. You are welcome to complete those assignments early if you would like. Know that once you post them, there is some discussion that is expected to happen. So if you post early, you'll need to always go back onto the discussion board and make sure that you have replied to people. So I'm going to stop right here for now. I just wanted to make sure that you have the information you need to get started in the course. The course begins August 21st, 8 a.m. Feel free to start working, emailing me, emailing each other. I look forward to our semester together.